Jenni Byrne is one of the most important political strategists in Canada. Now, as the chief advisor to Pierre Poilievre, she is doing everything she can to get him elected as Prime Minister of Canada. She is not an MP. She has never been elected. When Stephen Harper, as Prime Minister, learned that his government was coming to an end, that an NDP Liberal coalition was seeking to supplant his government, she waged the battle against that coalition, and they came out on top. In 2011, when Harper ran for re-election, he appointed her the head of his campaign. She was only 34 years old, but she aced the job. She gave Harper a majority mandate that nobody even thought was possible. But in addition to being able to build people up, Jenni Byrne is incredible at tearing them down. Do you remember Erin O'Toole? Used to be the leader of the Conservative Party, lost an election to Justin Trudeau, and then got pushed out of politics. Well, Byrne was one of the people doing the pushing. Very few people on earth understand Pierre Poilievre as well as Jenni Byrne does. And they had a lot in common. They both came from humble backgrounds. They both had a kind of aggressive political style. They both had a belief in an unapologetic brand of right-wing, working-class conservatism. So they had similar energy. And they started dating in 1999, and they stayed together until they broke up in 2011. And even after they broke up, they still remained close. They don't always get along. Sometimes on the campaign trail, they don't even talk to each other. So Byrne believes that all politics is local politics. All the high-level stuff, the committee meetings, the lawmaking, that happens because first somebody got elected. And elections are won or lost on Canadians' doorsteps. Byrne spends a ton of her free time knocking on doors. She does this every single week, despite the fact that door knocking is the lowest form of grunt work, like many, many tiers below her pay grade. But she does this because it breaks her out of the Ottawa bubble. It enables her to connect with the Conservative base. And it's made her a really, really powerful messenger. She really understands how to target messaging to voters she's trying to reach. And you can see that highly personalized style of politics coming out in Pierre Poilievre's style of leadership. Ever since he took over as leader of the opposition, even when there wasn't an election on, Pierre Poilievre has been in permanent campaign mode. One of the things I find so fascinating about Pierre Poilievre is the way he's been able to expand the Conservative coalition. One cohort of the coalition are the people you'd kind of expect to be there, sort of traditional, small government, older conservatives, normie conservatives, if you will. But then there's this other cohort, this new cohort. It's younger, it's angrier, it skews male, and it's very, very online. He doesn't do a lot of interviews with mainstream media, but there he is talking to Jordan Peterson. He loves working out. He's buff. He believes in crypto, but he doesn't like the World Economic Forum. He has all these kind of affectations that appeal to a slightly younger, slightly edgier, very online audience. His sound bites have a sort of fill-in-the-blank quality, and you can kind of fill them in any way you like. For instance, when he says that he wants to make Canada the freest nation on earth, he's referring to a variety of possible freedoms. The freedom to walk around unmasked, to make your own vaccination choices, to park your truck illegally in the middle of the nation's capital. Whatever it is, whatever kind of freedom you believe in, whether you're an edgelord or a normie conservative, you can find something to like here. Byrne's superpower is her ability to intuit what voters are angry about and to reflect that anger back at them. And she does that incredibly well. The good news for her is back in 2024, we were angry about an awful lot. Housing is too expensive. Groceries are too expensive. The passport office is of the seventh circle of hell. Justin Trudeau is smug. Whatever it was we were angry about, Byrne was able to focus the entire party on those grievances. And it was a really, really effective message, one that rode Pierre Poilievre to a 25-point lead in the polls. Then suddenly 2025 came along and scrambled all the rules of politics. Back in 2024, a lot of the normies in the Conservative movement could sort of handle the edgelords because honestly, they seemed more silly than sinister. But now the edgelords are freaking the normies out. And some of the normies are even running away to normie land, the Liberal Party, led by a central banker. All of us are feeling vulnerable. We don't want a leader who appeals to our anger so much as a leader who appeals to our vulnerability, who reassures us, who imagines what we can achieve if we work together, who appeals to our sense of solidarity. And I think this is why Poilievre is suddenly struggling, why he's suddenly trailing Mark Carney in the polls. What we want right now from leaders is statesmanship and emotional intelligence. Can Pierre Poilievre and Jenni Byrne give us statesmanship and emotional intelligence? I mean, look, anything's possible, but if they can do it, they'd better start doing it now.